Did you ever feel like a piece of your soul got ripped out, like the world lost its colors and silence screamed louder than any sound? If you're here, you probably know that intimate pain, the pain of losing someone who left too soon. Maybe it was your son, your daughter, that smile that lit up your days, your brother, your sister, the playmate who became your confidant, your best friend, that person who knew your deepest secrets. Or maybe your parents, who left when you still needed them so much. Subscribe to the channel and leave your like to access more stories like this. The pain can feel like a boundless ocean where every wave of longing pulls you under. You wake up and for a second you forget, until reality hits you like a punch to the chest. They're not here anymore. And then comes that question that eats at you from the inside. Why them? Why now? Why so soon? I get you. I get it because I've been in that dark place where tears dry up, but the pain remains, where you question everything, God, the universe, the meaning of life, where you feel abandoned in a world that keeps spinning while yours stopped. But what if I told you there's a deep meaning behind this departure that seems so cruel? What if there was a greater reason, a sacred purpose that our limited human minds can't grasp in the moment of pain? Pause for a moment, take a deep breath, because what I'm about to share with you might completely change the way you see this loss. It might transform your pain into understanding, your despair into hope, your rebellion into peace. Before I continue, I need to ask you something. If this video is touching your heart, if you feel like you came here for some reason, leave a like so more people who need to hear this can find this message. Share in the comments a word that describes how you're feeling right now. Let's create a support network here. And subscribe to the channel, because together we're going to explore the deepest mysteries of human existence. Did you know that in many ancient spiritual traditions, there's a concept that some souls choose shorter lives precisely to fulfill specific missions? That they come to this world not to live a long life, but to leave deep marks in a shorter time? It's like they're shooting stars. They shine intensely for a short time, but their glow is etched forever in our retina and in our hearts. Great spiritual masters throughout history, from Tibetan sages to Sufi mystics, from indigenous shamans to Christian saints, all spoke about something revolutionary, the idea that our soul chooses its experiences even before birth. The Dalai Lama teaches about the concept of bardos, transitional states of consciousness. Vedic texts speak of samskaras, karmic impressions that guide our journeys. The Jewish Kabbalah mentions tikkun olam, the repair of the world through specific actions. Even modern quantum physics, through scientists like Amit Goswami, suggests that consciousness can exist independently of the physical body. I'm not talking about empty beliefs or cheap comforts. I'm basing this on thousands of years of wisdom accumulated by entire civilizations, combined with scientific discoveries that are revolutionizing our understanding of the nature of reality. Dr. Ian Stevenson from the University of Virginia documented over 3,000 cases of children who remembered past lives with verifiable details. Dr. Raymond Moody researched thousands of near-death experiences. Dr. Brian Weiss, a Yale-trained psychiatrist, documented regressions that reveal patterns between lives. These aren't charlatans. They're respected scientists who dared to investigate beyond the limits of traditional materialistic science. And they all came to a disturbing and at the same time liberating conclusion. We are much more than we believe ourselves to be. Now consider for a moment this possibility. What if the person you lost chose a shorter life not as punishment, but as an act of supreme love? What if they knew, at a soul level, that their mission here would be intense, powerful, but concise? Think of some of the most impactful human beings in history. Jesus Christ lived only 33 years, but changed the world forever. Mozart died at 35, leaving a body of work that still moves millions. Anne Frank died at 15, but her diary continues to inspire generations. All of them had short lives in human terms, but their contributions were infinite. I'm not comparing your loss to historical figures. I'm showing you a pattern. Some souls come to fulfill specific missions that don't require decades, but leave eternal marks. Your loved one may have chosen to be exactly that in your life, a catalyst for transformation. Someone who would come to teach you about unconditional love, to awaken your compassion, to show how precious every moment is, to connect you with your own spirituality. This doesn't eliminate grief. On the contrary, it honors your pain by recognizing that it exists precisely because the love was real and deep. But it offers a perspective that can gradually transform your relationship with this loss. Imagine that, before you were born, you made a sacred agreement. Your soul and their soul met on the spiritual plane and said, "I will be your son, your daughter, your friend, for X amount of time. During that time, I will love you intensely. I will teach you things you can only learn through love. And when I leave, you will feel a pain that will transform you forever. That pain will connect you with your own divinity, will make you question, seek, grow. Do you agree?" And you, moved by the infinite love you felt for that soul, said, "Yes. Even knowing the pain I will feel, I accept this experience because I know we will both evolve through it." Imagine for a moment that life is like a cosmic symphony. Each soul is a unique instrument. Each life is a specific melody. Some melodies are long, like sonatas that stretch through complex movements. Others are like powerful arias, brief, but with an intensity that makes the heart stop. Your loved one played an aria, a short melody but so beautiful, so perfectly executed, that it resonates forever in the symphony of your life. And here's the secret that few understand. In music, it's not the duration that determines beauty. It's the intensity, the purity, the emotional impact. Think of the tapestry of your existence. Each person who passes through our life adds unique threads to that tapestry. Some threads extend across the entire width of the fabric. These are the long relationships. Others are golden threads that appear only in small sections, but which, when the light hits them, make the whole pattern glow magically. Your loved one was one of those golden threads, brief but transformative. And when you look at the tapestry of your life, you realize that without that specific thread, the whole pattern would be different, less beautiful, less complete. The soul's journey is like a cosmic school, where some souls enroll in intensive courses, while others choose extended programs. There's no better or worse. There are different paths of learning. And sometimes, the most intensive courses produce the deepest transformations, both for those who live them and for those who witness them. And I need to pause here to say something fundamental. Nothing I'm sharing intends to diminish or accelerate your pain. Grief is sacred. Your tears are sacred. Your anger is understandable. Your despair is valid. When someone says they're in a better place, or it was God's will, you have every right to feel like screaming. Because those phrases, however well-intentioned, can sound hollow when your heart is broken. I'm not trying to convince you to get over it quickly. I'm not suggesting you should be grateful for the loss. What I'm offering is an additional perspective that can, over time, coexist with your pain, like a soft light that doesn't erase the darkness, but offers a point of reference for when you're ready to take small steps. Crying for someone who left early isn't weakness, it's love in its purest form. Feeling angry isn't lack of faith, it's your humanity reacting to a broken expectation. Questioning God, the universe, the meaning of everything isn't blasphemy. It's your soul trying to understand mysteries that are greater than our limited mind. Allow yourself to feel all of it. Honor every emotion that arises, because each one is a testament to the love you shared. In the Jewish tradition, there's a beautiful concept. Grief is the price we pay for the privilege of having loved. Your pain is proportional to your love. And that's a sacred thing, not something to be quickly cured. But here's where the spiritual perspective becomes not just comforting, but transformative. What if your loved one's departure wasn't the end of the story, but the beginning of a new chapter in both your journeys? Many spiritual traditions speak of something powerful, that when someone leaves, especially someone we love deeply, they don't just disappear. They become our closest spiritual guides, our personal guardian angels, our protectors from the subtle plane. Think about it. Who better to protect and guide you than someone who loves you unconditionally and now has a broader perspective of reality? Someone who is no longer limited by the restrictions of the physical body, but who maintains all the bonds of love you built. This isn't fantasy or magical thinking. Dr. Diane Corcoran, a nurse specializing in near-death experiences, documented thousands of cases where people reported encounters with deceased loved ones who came to pick them up during clinical death experiences. These encounters follow consistent patterns around the world, regardless of culture or religious belief. Your loved one may be more present in your life now than you imagine. They may be influencing synchronicities, sending signals, protecting you from dangers you don't even perceive, guiding you towards people and opportunities that will help your growth. But here's the most powerful part. You are not a passive victim in this story. You have an active role. Every time you grow through the pain, every time you choose love instead of hate, every time your experience of loss makes you more compassionate towards others who suffer, you are actively honoring their legacy. You become the physical arm of their spiritual mission. They planted seeds of transformation in your heart through the love you shared, and now you are responsible for making those seeds blossom through your actions in the world. Now I want you to stop and ask yourself a deep question. How are you different today because they lived? Don't focus on the pain of loss for a moment. Focus on the transformation their love caused in you. Close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath and think, what qualities did you develop by being with them? Maybe you became more patient because they taught you patience. More compassionate because you witnessed their kindness. More courageous because you saw how they faced challenges. More loving because you experienced their unconditional love. I'll ask you other questions that can revolutionize your perspective. How many times have you comforted someone going through a similar loss? How many times has your own experience of pain made you reach out to someone who was suffering? How many times have you hugged someone more intensely because you know how precious every moment together is? Do you realize what's happening? Their mission continues through you. Every act of kindness you practice inspired by their memory, every word of comfort you offer to someone in mourning, every moment you choose to live more intensely because you know life is fragile, all of this is part of the spiritual mission they came to fulfill. Think about how your presence changed after this experience. You probably hug tighter, say I love you more often, value the small moments that used to go unnoticed. You've become deeper, more real, more connected to what truly matters in life. This didn't happen by chance. This is exactly the kind of transformation that some souls come to catalyze. They don't come to stay long, they come to awaken us, to pull us out of life's autopilot and connect us with our own divine essence. Now answer me mentally. What was the greatest lesson they left you? Not through words, but through the way they lived, how they loved, how they faced challenges. That lesson is alive in you now. It's part of your essence. It's the eternal gift they left you. And here's something even more powerful. How many people have been touched by what you've become because of them? Your children, who now receive more conscious love because you know how precious it is. Your friends, who find a more understanding shoulder in you. Strangers who cross your path and are impacted by your deeper presence. Their soul continues to touch the world through you. Every person you positively influence by being transformed by their love is part of the cosmic mission they came to fulfill. You are not just someone who lost. You are someone who was chosen to be the channel through which their love continues to flow through the world. You are not alone on this journey. At this very moment, millions of people around the world carry the same pain you carry in their hearts. Mothers who lost children, children who lost parents, friends who lost soulmates. And each of these people has gone through or is going through the same process of questioning, anger, denial, and eventually transformation that you are experiencing. There is an invisible community of broken hearts that paradoxically became more whole through the breakage. A silent brotherhood of people who learned that love is stronger than death, that spiritual connection transcends physical presence, that pain can be transformed into purpose. In the comments of this video, you'll find people sharing their own stories. Read them. You'll notice surprising patterns. The same questions that torment you, the same revelations that comfort you, the same signs that make you question if there's something beyond what we can see. This is no coincidence. When we go through experiences of deep loss, our perception expands. We start to notice synchronicities we previously ignored. We start to feel presences we didn't perceive before. We start to receive signs we previously interpreted as coincidences. A fascinating study conducted by the University of Virginia showed that people who have experienced significant losses report many more experiences they consider spiritual or paranormal. Not because they became more superstitious, but because the pain opened channels of perception that were previously blocked by the noise of everyday life. It's as if loss functions as a portal that connects us not only with those who left, but with a more subtle dimension of reality where we are all interconnected. Where the love that was planted in our hearts forms an invisible network that connects all souls who have shared similar experiences. Think about it. Every person who has ever lost a loved one carries within them the same spark of transformation that you carry. You are part of a spiritual family that recognizes each other through their gaze, a family that has developed a special sensitivity to perceive the sacred in the ordinary, eternity in the temporary, love in grief. When you meet someone who has gone through a similar loss, there's an immediate recognition. You don't need to explain to each other how it feels. You don't need to justify the tears that still come unannounced. You don't need to defend the belief that you still feel the presence of those who left. This community is one of the most precious gifts that arises from our pain, because through it we discover that our experience, however unique it may seem, is part of a larger pattern, part of humanity's collective journey towards a deeper understanding of the nature of love, life, and death. We've reached the end of this journey together, but in reality, we're just at the beginning. Because everything I've shared here are just words until you transform them into a living experience in your heart. If this video touched something deep within you, if you feel that you arrived here not by chance, but by synchronicity, I invite you to become part of a larger community, a community of people who are exploring the deepest mysteries of existence, who are transforming pain into wisdom, grief into active love. Leave a like on this video, not just as a mechanical gesture, but as a way of saying yes to the possibility that there's a greater meaning behind everything we experience. Share in the comments a word that summarizes how you feel now after this conversation. It can be hope, confused, touched, transformed, any word that represents your current state. Let's create an authentic mosaic of human experiences here. And subscribe to the channel, because this is just one part of a much larger journey we're taking together. In the next videos, we'll explore how to recognize signs from those who've passed, how to develop our spiritual intuition, how to transform our pain into life purpose. We'll dive into real experiences of people who've had encounters with deceased loved ones. We'll study the latest scientific discoveries about consciousness and survival after death. But most importantly, we'll continue to honor the memory of those we love through our own transformation. Because that's the most beautiful truth I've discovered. They didn't leave to make us orphans. They left to make us messengers, messengers of unconditional love, deep compassion, the wisdom that is born when the heart breaks and rebuilds stronger. Your loved one fulfilled their mission. Now it's your turn to fulfill yours. And your mission is simple but powerful: to live with more love, more presence, more gratitude for every precious moment we have. To be the living example that love is stronger than death. To be proof that even in the greatest losses we can find the greatest purposes. They planted seeds of eternity in your heart. Now it's time to let those seeds blossom through the life you still have to live, through the love you still have to give, through the legacy that you together still have to leave in this world. Subscribe to the channel and leave your like to access more stories like this. And whenever the longing gets strong, remember, they're not far. They're in your deepest breath, in your most sincere tear, in your truest smile. They're in every act of kindness you practice, inspired by their memory. They're in every person you touch because you were touched by them. Love never dies, it just changes form. And the most beautiful form it can take is you living fully the life they helped you discover is worth living.